Howdy, howdy. No big intro today because we've got the freeze coming in, but I did want to share and talk about the big two that I read this week, the week of January 21st. I read seven, I guess actually technically six and a half books from Marvel and DC, a pretty even split. Let's talk about Marvel, starting with Psylocke Ninja. Now, I got this because of the art germ cover. I collect Marvel art germ covers, just basic trade dress. Sometimes some special covers if I come across them. But I saw Von Coleman left a review, said that this was actually a really good book. And he's big on the Claremont X-Men and has way more into X-Men than I am. So I decided to crack it open. Got about 4 or 5 pages in. And again, I'm just not an X guy. I don't know too much about the characters. I do like Wolverine. Sometimes I can like other X-Men, but this one just did not resonate with me. So unfortunately, I've got a few pages in. I thought, well, now I just want to close it and just put it back in the bag to preserve it. So, this one was a pass for me, but I did hear good things from Von Coleman, and I trust Von. I believe in Von. In Von, I trust. But this one just wasn't for me. All right, going on to Hulk Smash Everything number 2. This is by Ryan North and art by Karatu. I hope I say that right. I really enjoyed this one. This one is kind of like the old comic shop talk, where we'd say, hey, would Hulk survive Armageddon, the dinosaur asteroid? Would Hulk survive being thrown into the sun? Would Hulk survive deep space? It sounds kind of like that, where we're just kind of figuring it. Well, would Hulk survive the asteroid? So the leader throws him back in time, and the Hulk is going to be basically right underneath the asteroid that kills the dinosaurs. I think the art in this is fantastic. Really took me by surprise. I love big cosmic shots like this, and this is really gorgeous. And the narration, Ryan North really takes a very subtle approach towards the narration. He doesn't write a lot, and it really works with panels like this. I mean, North, really wrote minimal words here and let the panel speak for itself. So I really enjoyed this one. So Hulk, basically, timey-wimey stuff, gets in trouble, destroys something in the past that shouldn't have, that's ruining the future. So the leader has to bring him back and try to destroy him again. I won't spoil where he puts him next, but I'm very, very interested to see how the Hulk gets out of the next issue. I love it when an issue ends and leaves you wondering, where could they possibly go from here? So I'm very excited for that one. Hulk Smash Everything, I really, really enjoyed. Also, we've got Daredevil and Punisher. This is by Jimmy Palmiotti and art by Bianchi. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Tommaso Bianchi, as well as Gabriel Guzman. I didn't realize there was 2 artists on this. I really enjoyed this one. This one is like classic Punisher story, very noir style art. I love that grungy, kind of really flat art style there. It is absolutely gorgeous. And then we have more of the clashing of these titans, really comparing the morality. And it does a really good story. Palmiotti, I don't think, is doing a very obvious one person's right, one person's wrong. I think he's very much leaning into like, hey, maybe there is no right answer. Maybe it is tough no matter which direction of morality you choose. I really, really enjoyed this one. Very, very hot on Daredevil and Punisher issue 3. All right, and then last from Marvel, I'm absolutely loving this series, no question, from Mark Guggenheim and Sandoval. I believe it's Sandoval, if I open the thing here. Gerardo Sandoval. We've got Spider-Man and Wolverine issue 9. So this one is not the Carrie Andrews art, but Sandoval does a really good job of just keeping that style here. I love this picture of the different amalgams here. So we've got like Aquaman, Thor. We've got the Black Panther, Hulk. Let's see, which was the other one? It was Iron Fist, Ultron. I really, really enjoy the story here. It's just off the wall, just good fashion comic action. Don't question too much. It brings back, I think, what Secret Wars did in the 80s, where let's just have fun with these different characters. And Arachnix is pretty menacing here as well. Ends with a pretty good cliffhanger. We've got one more issue. I wish this could keep going, but I'm happy that it's going to seem to be wrapping up at a good spot. So Spider-Man and Wolverine, if you love action, if you love just off-the-wall, over-the-top illustrations and a little bit of cartooniness, this is a great read. I can't recommend this one enough. Moving on to DC, I read 3 DC books this week, and we'll start with DC KO tie-in, Green Lantern Galactic Slam. This one is all around Kyle Rayner, mostly my favorite Lantern. I think he's pretty cool. I mean, he's kind of up there with Hal for me. He's top 2 at least. Some days he's number 1, some days he's not. But this one, I could understand how some people would not really enjoy this as a DC KO tie-in because, again, Adams likes to tell an individual story and then just subtly nod to how it takes place within a tie-in. Before last week, I would have said that works every time. But last week's Aquaman, even though it was a good story, it wasn't a great tie-in. So this one is a very interesting story where Kyle gets teleported or boom toomed or something to a wrestling organization, and they basically travel and have to wrestle galactically, right? But we find out they never go to Earth for some reason, and so he kind of has to uncover that mystery there. And we've got Omega Bam Bam, and he is kind of like the Hulk Hogan type figure here. And so it's wrestling at its finest. If you were a fan of 80s or 90s or maybe even the early 2000s wrestling, I think you'll really enjoy this one. It's just kind of silly a little bit. You can kind of see all the different representations of wrestlers, those archetypes of the wrestlers, and there's a Vince McMahon type character there. I love this little art style here. By the way, this is from Jeremy Adams and Tormy, I guess. Tormy? I skipped the title here. Let's see. Kane Cyan? Oh, man, I don't know that name there. Cyan, Tormy, and Pat Boutin, or Boutin. Boy, sorry about that. But the art's great, guys. Y'all are doing great on this one. So I really enjoyed this one, but I can see if someone said, hey, I didn't like this because it wasn't KO enough for me, totally get it. But Adams has a great sense of humor and action combining in this one, creates a really fun little side adventure for Kyle Rayner. And apparently some of these characters are going to be coming back when Kyle Rayner becomes Green Lantern Prime or proper in future Green Lantern series. So I really enjoyed this one. I had no idea what to expect going in, but I came out of it really, really happy. Up next, Superman Unlimited number 9, and this one's by Dan Slott, illustrated by Norton. And I said I was kind of cool on this one. It's kind of, I don't know, but you know what? This was another good Superman story. I really, really enjoyed this one. We get the prankster here, and I really enjoyed this too because they're kind of like, at the intro, I was a little concerned knowing who Dan Slott can be at times. And they basically, like, these rich people, business owners or whatever, are getting killed in pranky types of ways. The journalists are talking about how it's funny, but Clark Kent comes by and he's like, it's not funny. These are human beings. Like, even though, it was people you don't like, we shouldn't celebrate or laugh at their death. So I thought that was very mature. Shouldn't be that surprised, but I am. I thought that was very well handled by Dan Slott. And so then we find out the trickster here is killing people, and I don't know if he's like for hire or whatever. And then we get his nephew or something like that. I don't know who this character is, but he's the one actually setting everything up. The trickster, or the prankster. No, not the prankster. He actually gets offended when you say trickster instead of prankster. But anyways, then we get a little baseball shot here. I love this next shot here of the prankster basically magnetizes all the baseballs and he flies them over to the mayor to kill him, Mayor Perry White. Superman jumps in the way. It's kind of silly. I think this is a great shot. I love the little title card here, but the fact that it's baseballs makes it a little silly, but I thought it was pretty good. Anyways, and so it's basically just a good one-off Superman story. It does have a little bit of a cliffhanger, so it is kind of a two-parter, but this stands on its own. I enjoyed this, so you know what? I'm going to keep pulling it. Like I said, as long as I keep enjoying these issues, I'm going to keep pulling Superman Unlimited. Thought that was a great issue. And then also a great issue, Batman Superman World's Finest number 47. They call him Fusion versus Merger, but it's Superbat versus Lex Joker. That's what I'm calling it in my head. Fantastic action, beautiful art. This is written by Mark Waid and illustrated by Gutierrez. Here, don't know the first name. Here we go. Adrian Gutierrez. Absolutely beautiful art here. I really, really enjoyed it. And you can see everything here. They basically worldwide find out who Batman and Superman are. Their alter egos are compromised. So basically all their loved ones are compromised. You can see Alfred getting attacked by Poison Ivy. And we get a little side action here from the Atom and Hunter, or what's his name? Hawkman and Hawk Woman, I guess. And they have to help the Super Bat, try to take over whatever the what is it called? This thing here, not the Omicron, but whatever the absconded gun, whatever that device is that Joker is and Lex Luthor are using. Anyways, a really good story. I really enjoyed that one. I thought it was interesting. I guess this takes place where Lois Lane didn't know that Clark was Superman, so I don't know the timeline of where World's Finest takes place, but they're still good stories. I don't care. Oh yeah, Kyle Rayner and Flash get a little appearance here, along with the Green Arrow and Speedy. I think that's Speedy. So anyways, it was really good. It wrapped up really well. It was really wholesome in the way that it's wrapped up, and I really, really enjoyed that one. So this was another great read. Once you get to the ongoings, you're going to like them. It's hard to come up with anything to critique them, but this was my 6 reads. As far as top of the week, I'm going to say Green Lantern is definitely top, because of the uniqueness of it. I think actually Hulk Smashes Everything is number 2 for me because I just really enjoyed the storytelling that was done here and the fun that I had with the Hulk just being the Hulk. And then number 1, I think Spider-Man and Wolverine actually was the best because it was just beautifully illustrated, fantastic art, and I had a lot of fun reading it. So there you go, top 3. Marvel takes 2 out of the top 3. It's a very big surprise. Normally that is not the case, but it was a great week for me reading the big 2. Let me know what you read in the comments down below. I'd love to find out. I hope everyone stays safe and warm this weekend. I hope nothing too dire happens. Remember, get your batteries going, get your fires going, stay warm, check in on your loved ones. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Adios.